I now proudly present you with a video that not a single soul asked for, but it's one of my favorite videos to watch on YouTube, so I'm doing. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kayla. It is nice to see you guys. I'm so glad that you're here. Okay, so today's video, we're gonna be going over my 5-star read. Now, this isn't necessarily every book I've ever given a 5-star read because I'm a very easy bitch to please. This is simply the more favored ones, if you will. These are the ones that immediately when someone's like, oh my god, what's a really good book to read? First one that pops in my head is probably one of these books, depending on whatever that person wants to read or not, or what type of book they're interested in. In front of me over here, I have 3 stacks of books. I have 2 series reads, and I have a bunch of standalones that I want to talk about. And these books legit make me who I am. Like, I know that I know everyone's probably seen that freaking TikTok video where it's like, these people raised me and I can't wait to go home. These books are that for me. These are the honorable mention ones, if you will. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started so we're not sitting here for 20 minutes. So one of my favorite series that I have ever read, and so glad I discovered it. So my first favorite series is the Addicted / Calloway Sisters series. You know how when you watch a TV show and you instantly feel like you're basically in the friend group with the whole cast? That's how these books make me feel. For anyone that's been living under a rock, or for anyone that doesn't have Book Talk, or honestly, never mind. I don't think I've seen these on Book Talk that often. I have definitely seen them on Book Twitter, which is how I found out about them. The Addicted series is a series of 10 books. Okay, so you have 5 books from the perspective of Lily and Lo, who are childhood best friends who fake date to hide and cover their addictions, which is what the this is what the first one is about. Addicted to You is basically Lily's addicted to sex, and Lauren, or Lo as we all call him, Lo is addicted to alcohol, and basically in order to keep up their addictions, they fake date each other so they can hide their addictions from their family. Behold, obviously they both really had feelings for each other, and you're watching the whole series of their books unfold with them conquering their addictions, going through their addictions, having people find out about their addictions, how they help each other get through them. It's amazing. This story is genuinely one of the best books I've ever read. Also, can we take a moment for this ugly ass tabbing? This is the first book that I ever tabbed, and I don't even think I wrote in here. Yeah, I didn't even write like what any of it meant. But this, if you tab like this, pop off, do you, but this is atrocious. Okay. I don't think I mentioned this, so I'm going to mention it really quick. The Addicted series books / Calloway Sister series is basically 5 books from the perspective of Lily and Lo. And there's 4 books that are from the Calloway Sister series, which is the sisters of Lily Calloway. And the last book being the full epilogue book. So in the series, you have Addicted to You, you have Ricochet. This one was also really good. This is when I tried to start tabbing by colors. Then you have Addicted for Now, which this one was so stinking cute. And then if you read it in the correct order, which this is the recommended order, so this is the way I read it, and obviously this is why 95% of the world loves this series, because we read it in the order. The first book that you would read instantly right after Addicted for Now is the Kiss the Sky book. This follows Rose Calloway and Connor Cobalt. I know, everyone calm down. Connor Cobalt is such a daddy, like, oh my god. So then you have the next book, which is Hot House Flower, which is based off of Daisy Calloway and Reich Meadows. Then we have Thrive, which I'm not gonna lie, this is the only book in the whole series that I didn't really like, just because I felt like it was kind of irrelevant, I guess would be the word. Not dumb, but like irrelevant. This whole book is this from the perspective of Lily and Lo. We have what wraps up Lily and Lo's love story, their great love story. Addicted After All, which is, after that we jump straight back into the Calloway sisters, which is Fuel the Fire. Then we jump into Long Way Down with Daisy Calloway and Reich Meadows. Why did I have to think about that? That's really sad. Then, to wrap it all completely up, to give this story its nice final close, we have Some Kind of Perfect. This book, I cannot express to you how much I cried over this book. It is probably single-handedly one of the best books I have ever read in my entire life. I know this thing's thick, but y'all just don't understand. Also, I do remember this. This is how memorable this book was. I do remember that I tabbed each of the colors, or each of the couples as a color. So that way when I looked back, I could be like, oh, well, yeah, da da da. Now that we've spent 12 minutes almost talking about that freaking series, let's talk about another one. Okay, so this should be no shocker to absolutely anybody if you watched my last video. And that is because another 5-star series for me is Zodiac Academy. These books are heavy as hell. So let me put them down and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so Zodiac Academy is masterpiece. That is the only word, like that's the only word to describe it because it's literally that good. If you didn't watch my last video, this book follows Tori and Darcy Vega, who grew up in the mortal world. They were constantly living from foster home to foster home. They ended up when they were 18 moving out into their own little thing or whatever, into their little apartment, barely making it, whatever. This guy shows up out of freaking nowhere and he's like, hello girls, you are the long lost freaking princesses of the damn king and queen who have now been deceased of Solaria, and you basically have to come back to this daggum academy and prove your worth and then rule the damn kingdom, if you will. And they're like, what? And they're like, then they find out that their parents had, you know, a wealthy inheritance that they can claim eventually. So their sole purpose is, hey, we, you know, want to get our parents money. That's about it. We're about to do this and leave. And you have the heirs who absolutely hate them for showing up. Okay, like these kids have been busting their ass since day one, trying to claim the throne from the Vegas since their parents died. The heirs are now in the running for the throne, and they're pissed off because obviously if the Vegas come back and prove their worth, they get to be on the throne. But these are really good series and I 100% recommend them. They're so freaking good. Read them now. So now that we've talked about 2 of my favorite series, I'm going to talk about some standalones. So yeah, let's do first 5-star standalone. This is not in any particular order. There is one book in here that is like my true ride or die, and I will let you know about it as soon as I get to it. But I have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I have had it on my shelf for so long, and then last year I was like, you just need to read it. You just need to read it. You just need to do it. So I read it, and it was the best decision of my entire life. This book, I cannot even explain how amazing it is. It follows Addie LaRue in France of 1714, and basically she's to be wed to this guy that she doesn't want to marry at all, and she's been told ever since she was younger or whatever, don't talk to like false gods, if you will, or whatever, and like don't make, you know, don't make deals with them, it's not safe. Desperate that she runs out into the middle of the daggum forest and prays to the false god. She's like, please, 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 please help me, like get me out of this situation, blah, 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 whatever. Cool. So she's like, I want to live a long life and I don't want to live it here. So they're like, okay, bet, we'll give you a long life, but there's a catch. No one's gonna remember you. Literally not a soul. Okay, yeah, so like it's cool, like you get to do whatever you want or whatever, but like no one remembers you. So you can't hold a job, you can't go into a grocery, you can't, like, you don't have a way to do anything. There's no physical way you can live that way. Basically, Addie became in a routine of like stealing, because obviously if she stole and ran around the corner, came back, nobody would know who she was. Addie takes it upon herself to obviously, you know, keep herself occupied, if you will. So she goes to a local bookstore, gets a book. She doesn't have the money, so she steals it. Steals it, the guy's screaming at her on the way out. He's like, oh my god, like, come back, you can't take that, blah, 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 blah. She leaves, comes back the next day. Okay, she's like, I'm just gonna return the book, say I don't have, like, you know, blah, 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 whatever. She goes up and she's like, hey, I'd like to return this book that I, you know, rented or whatever from yesterday. And he's like, are you actually kidding me right now? And she's like, no, like, I want to exchange the book out. And he's like, dude, you were just in here yesterday. And she was like, no, I wasn't. And she's confused because she's like, what is he talking about? And then out of nowhere, he literally says the 3 words that are so prominent to this damn book, and the 3 words that make her heart literally flutter and beat 10 miles an hour. I remember you. Remembers her. Why does he remember her? How does he remember her? Read the book and find out. The next one that I have is The Silent Patient. The Silent Patient. This one is legit one of my favorite books. This one, I think, okay, the way it was written was so gravitating that you constantly were wanting to read it. Like, you didn't want to put it down. You were constantly like, I need to read it, I need to go, I need to find out, I need to, like, this story follows Alicia, whatever. This lady comes to find out this lady has killed her husband. She killed her husband. They don't know why. She won't speak. She won't talk about it. She won't say what happened, why it happened, nothing. All they know is that she killed him. She now lives in a psych ward, if you will, and she's one of the most top-known cases where no one can get her to open her mouth and spill anything about what happened. You meet Theo, who is this psychotherapist that is so hell-bent on the fact that he can make this bitch talk. Okay? He's like, I will do it. I can make her talk. Me, Theo, can do it. We will figure out if I go. We will figure out why she killed her husband. You're reading the whole story from the perspective of Theo, you know, trying to figure out why she did it. Like, trying to talk to her, do coping mechanisms with her, trying to understand her more. And the plot twist in this was literally insane, and that's all I'm gonna say. Next one is technically a series read, but you also don't have to read it as a series read. Now listen, I was thinking when I was pulling this book out from my bookshelf, I was like, am I gonna get made fun of or be called a head ass for putting this in my 5 stars? The whole reason that we read as human beings is because we enjoy what we read, and our 5 stars are our 5 stars, and that's all that matters. So this one, even though it's very like high school maturity level, this book literally just sang to my soul. Anna, who's our main character here, Anna is a student at a school in America. She's from America, you know, American citizen. Gets forced by her parents, I think it's more specifically her dad, but don't quote me on that, gets told that she has to go live in Paris for the semester, or the year. I think it's the year. Anyway, so she gets told that she needs to go live in Paris. And basically, she is going to be attending this boarding school called SOAP, which stands for School of America in Paris. She meets this girl that's in the dorm like next to her or whatever. They hit it off. They're really great friends. That girl introduces her to a whole group of people. They also hit it off. And then lo and behold, Etienne is introduced. Etienne is British. He's beautiful. He's described as the, like, you want to be friends with him, but you also want to be more. Like, you know what I mean? It is revolving around Anna's whole experience in Paris. It's giving Emily in Paris, but that's literally what it is. She's learning French. She's going to all the different places because Etienne shows her some. There's so many experiences in this book. There's so many like places that when I eventually go to Paris that I want to visit because I think it's just so sick. It's literally amazing. But this one's so freaking good. The next one that we have, this is the one where if someone was like, I want a thriller or like a mystery style book, this is the first one that I would think to recommend them because it's that damn good. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This one, okay, this book had me in such a damn chokehold that I was like sitting there, like obviously flipping through the pages, and I would run up to my sister in her room and be like, I need to tell you an update, like, oh my god, this person and this person, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this book follows Pippa, or Pip, whatever you want to call her. It follows Pip, and basically what she's doing is she gets a senior capstone project, if you will, and she gets told that she can work on it during the summer, I'm almost positive, and basically she decides to take it upon herself to dive into the mystery of the murder of Andy Bell, who was accused to be murdered by her boyfriend Sal, which Pip doesn't think so. Pip does not think that Andy was murdered by her boyfriend, and she's willing to prove it, okay? Basically, you're following Pip's journey on trying to figure out if Sal was the one that killed Andy. And if he wasn't, then who was it? Freaking read it. Please read it. Is the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy, which we have The Summer I Turned Pretty, and then you have It's Not Summer Without You, and then We'll Always Have Summer. This is the perfect series to read during the summer. I have never in my life wanted so badly to go to Cousins Beach, or a beach for that matter. I, fun fact, hate the beach. I don't like it at all. I don't know why, I just don't. Do you see how much I tabbed in this damn book? And Bellie's school year ends. She always knows, deep down in her soul, the most exciting part of her year is coming, okay? So this is like her damn Christmas, okay? Her going to Cousins Beach and spending her summer with the Fishers. We have Susanna, which is her mother's best friend, or childhood best friend. They grew up together. Susanna has the Fisher boys, which is known as Conrad and Jeremiah. We love them in this house. Team Conrad girlies, where you at? Bellie has always been in love with Conrad. Literally since she could breathe, has always been in love with Conrad. But Conrad has always treated her like she was just like the little sister, or like just the, he's always made it known that he didn't think of Bellie like that, but he always included her, which kind of led her on, which was kind of shitty, but like, you know, he had good intentions, I guess. Basically, this is the summer that everything changes because Bellie is hot shit now, basically. It's so good. Please read this. I love how I keep telling you that, but listen, they're 5 stars. You're gonna have to listen to me say it. Please read them. They're amazing. The very last 5-star read that I have to show you guys is one that's near and dear to my heart. It is my favorite book ever. I do plan on rereading it again this year because I want to like annotate it, so I might buy the newer version of it so I can do that and then keep the old version the way it is, because I'm not playing it. Literally, it's like near and dear to my heart. The book is Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. This is the most underrated damn Colleen Hoover book I've ever heard in my life. Like, you don't understand. This one hits for me. I don't know what it is about the damn book, but it just hits different. So basically, this book follows Sky. And Sky is a senior in high school. Basically, long story short, is Sky ends up going to a market, and she sees this guy that's like staring at her, like deep in her soul, okay? It's freaking her out. She's like, what the hell are you staring at? Get out of my face. Like, what are you doing? And basically somehow ends up like bumping into this kid, okay? There's a perspective of Holder. He remembers something about her. He's like, I know this girl, I feel like, from somewhere, but I don't know where I've seen her. Like, I'm so confused right now. So he's intrigued. He wants to know more. Whereas Sky is like, I don't know you. Like, I've never met you in my entire life. Basically, even though she's like, please stay away from me, get on with yourself, obviously she's more intrigued than anything. So obviously that takes over and she becomes close to him and they create a bond. Well, it just so happens that Holder here knows some shit about her. He's been keeping some secrets. The secret that he is keeping literally can change Sky's life forever. It's such a shocking secret that he's keeping that like I'm genuinely surprised that Sky's like walls don't go back up with trust. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah, this one is so good. So good. Okay, well, with that being said, these are all my lovely 5-star reads, and I'm so glad I got to share them with you guys. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys yourself have read any of these books and which ones are your favorite. If you haven't read them, let me know which ones you might want to read or which one sounded interesting to you. I'm so excited for the next few videos that are coming. Well, pretty much all the videos that are coming this year, but I love you guys so much, and yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.